All right, Rival Stars Horse Racing. Let's see what we've got here.
Red Midnight is off to a fabulous start. Tricky Dazzler is also in the firing line. 700 to run, it's Free Dancer. Tricky Dazzler in second position, grappling with Dream Dimple. Destiny's Dream overtaking on the outside. Beauty's Suspicion in 11th place. Cash Harrell next. The race continues with Shining Cherub. Ocean's Wind in second position, followed by Nocturnal Rider. 1 length away, it's Destiny's Dream. Winning Post looms. Destiny's Dream travelling off the fence. 1 length behind, it's Cash Harriman. Beauty's Suspicion flying home out wide on the track. Destiny's Dream setting the pace.
Finishing on a high note. That's what the papers said of your grandfather's final victory. And it was well deserved. But I was there. I knew the reason he did it was for the thrill, the sport, and especially family. Your father was already comfortable in his own saddle and making a name for himself. But when your proud grandfather strolled on the stage, leaving him alone in the sun, oh, he took off like an untamed wind. But then, of course, you know how hard it was on the family. But your grandfather took it the hardest. For all his achievements, in the end, he considered himself a failure. I still believe in your family's legacy, despite everything. If you could, if you would be persuaded, please come back. I believe together we can return this homestead to the height of its glory days. Yours faithfully, Francis Kwan.
Hey guys, it is Drea from Dreamy App Games, and after all of the scary horror-style games that I reviewed recently, it's time to do something maybe a little lighter. Now, I love animals, and I love games, so an animal-related game is my jam, y'all. And I saw this ad pop up on Facebook a lot. It's called Rival Stars Horse Racing, and it's just what it sounds like. You breed, train, and race horses. So I decided to download the game and see what it was all about because I kept seeing it on Facebook over and over and over. Well, there are a lot of positives about this game. For one thing, I do like the graphics. The graphics are very reminiscent, in my opinion, of some of my better Xbox 360 games, which is pretty decent for a phone app game. Despite the higher graphic quality, it still runs pretty smooth with no lag on my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. I also enjoyed how they tied this plot together with the story about your grandfather, who was one of the greatest racers of his time, and his career ends in tragedy. So his friend reaches out to you to bring you back into the racing game to restore your family's legacy. That was a really well thought out storyline that does draw you into the game. Now, another nice aspect about this game is that it's fairly simple, and anyone of any age can really figure it out, even without the initial help that they do give you. In the early stages, they do a guide that will tell you about everything from breeding to training to racing your horse. But even without all of that, there's very little learning curve because it is so simple. And I love that the controls are so easy to use compared to the last few games that I reviewed. These controls are actually really well done, and they're very simple to use. So again, it's really great for all ages, from kids to older adults. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't go off without any hitches. One thing I think is a negative is that I haven't played very long at all. I played a little last night to record some of the footage and then a little today and not much after that. And I'm already seeing that they're trying to push me towards in-app purchases. One of many examples of this is, let's say I wanted to breed my average mare with a really special stallion who has a unique colored coat and really decent stats. Well, I would need to be part of the Stars Club in order to do that, and that's a $10 a month membership. So you would already have to pay $10 a month in order to be able to breed your average mare with a better quality stallion. So that's one thing that's like, wow, this early? Really? I barely have even had time to think about whether or not I like this game enough to want to put money into it, and I'm already being told that I need to put money into it. My issue is that this game is geared to every age with how easy it is to use and how good the graphics are and how interesting the story is. I really do think especially that older kids would like this game a lot. And that means that kids are going to be playing the game. Well, not many kids have free range to use credit cards to buy in-app purchases. And the lack of sponsored ads to allow them to get what they need in lieu of real-world money makes it a bit harder for them to play even if they wanted to. So they really need to find that balance. Either make it a purchase-to-play game where you buy the game and then everything is available to you. And then if you want to kind of expand it, then you make an expansion and then they buy the expansion and charge a few bucks for it. Kind of the way that MMORPGs do, like EverQuest, where they have a game, you buy it and everything's available to you. And then they expand the world and they have new features. And then you have to buy the expansion and then download it to your game. They could do it that way. Or they could just make it the way most games are, which is it's a free game with more ads so that those who can't buy in-app purchases can at least have close to the similar game experience as those who can buy in-app purchases. And if they really want to push towards app purchases, they shouldn't make it so obvious that it's going to be necessary so quick in the game. Like I said, I haven't had long enough to really know if it's a game that I'd enjoy long term. And knowing that I'll likely have to spend real world money this quick in the game to be able to advance is kind of a turnoff. So let me get into the game first to know if I'm going to like it and then start pushing those in-app purchases. Another downfall, like I said, I haven't played very long, but honestly, it hasn't held my attention. There's so many times that you can run around the racetrack before it gets a little bit old hat. I think this could hold a kid's interest longer, but for older teens and adults, it's one of those games that are fun when there's nothing better to do, but only in short spurts, lest you get bored, kind of a thing. More features may be warranted, like the ability to race against other actual players, breed horses with the horses of other players to see what kind of combos that you guys can come up with and looks and stats, etc. So all in all, it's a solid game, great graphics, smooth controls, easy to play, but there's a little tweaking that can be done to make the game experience even better. Basically, there is always room for improvement, but it is still solid enough of a game to warrant a download and see what you think. So check it out and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Drea from Dreamy App Games.